Welcome. We're here for free live tarot readings. I'm Tarot Oracle, and I'm the one that does the readings. You're kind of curious as to like whose fault it is. It's mine.
It's 6:30. Time for the Tarot Oracle Show.
So there we go. Nexus, what is going on? Renee, how are you doing? Amelia, how are you? Tulika, hello. Assel, Hooping, Sarah, and Bartman. How's it going, everyone? It is Friday. It's Friday. No, I'm sorry. It's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday, though. So we're getting ever closer to the weekend. It is approaching ever so slowly, crawling in like a snail. But it will be here soon. It will be here mighty soon. Just have to wait and be patient. Blu-ray, what is going on? Let's see. Meet my future husband when I was 29 years old or more. Forecast for the month ahead. Relationship. When will I be in a relationship with Tarot Magician? What? Will my jewelry business succeed? We'll take that one. Will my jewelry business succeed? Boo Boo, what is going on? Paula, welcome. How are you doing? Not really sure what's going on with the Tarot Magician. You got roped in here somehow. You got roped in here with somebody's relationship. All right, let's see. So we got a jewelry business. We're trying to make our own jewelry and sell it and see what's going on with all of that. Let's try it out with the Tarot Tower. We will go with the Effervescent Dark Goddess Tarot. I'm not sure why I showed the tower when I'm not even reaching over there, but there it goes. There it goes. That is the way it goes. The Dark Goddess. I do have a new deck coming in. It is called the True Wisdom or something. The Intuitive Wisdom, the Intuitive Heart. I think it's Intuitive Heart. I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, it is supposed to be here soon. The Intuitive Heart. Sarah G, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. Sarah G, Lost in the Woods, wants a general. Let's check that out. Thank you for your donation. I appreciate you. All right. Let's see about a jewelry business for now. Let's see how that's going to work out. Hopefully it'll be pretty good. Let's I guess you're making your own. I mean, we're making assumptions at this point, but I guess you're making your own. So see if it's going to work out. The Witch of Earth, the Siren of Air. Interesting. So you got two court cards, Priestess and the Nine of Earth. So you got enough Earth to where it sort of feels like that it will be successful. That's basically what you want. It will generate some income. Doesn't look like a ton of income. It just sort of looks like, just some side income, some things like that, a little boost to the extra income, as it were. The Priestess does say that the way that you're making the jewelry or the method that the jewelry sales are happening can be optimized a little bit more. I think that there are some things that we can sort of look at to make this a little better in the long run. In other words, what are you doing? How are you doing it? How are you advertising it? There's some of these things that are just not tweaked currently that need to be adjusted. Also, we have a lot of court cards here. One of the court cards, of course, says to get it out quickly. Another one says that maybe some sales are in order. Definitely have some percentage off, some incentives for them to come back and get gifts for friends, relatives, and what else. But yeah, you definitely do have some optimization that needs to be done. Overall, if you're looking at just basically, will it succeed? Will it be okay? Again, I do see a pretty decent income. Definitely not something where you're going to retire and buy a house in the Hamptons, but you do have some nice little side income from this. Again, this is going to fluctuate based upon season. It's also going to fluctuate based upon the sales you're having, what jewelry you have, what price points you're using, etc., etc. But basically, if it's going to work, yes, absolutely, it works okay. Alley Cat, hello. How are you doing tonight? What is going on, Allie? It's good to see you again. All right. You're right. There would be a problem with me moving to Ireland. Hopefully you're right that I will actually get there. Well, That's good that I'm right, but that's bad that you're having problems. Sorry, but hear that, alley cat. Ireland seems like a great place. That's one of the places that everybody recommends. I mean, just globally, nobody has anything bad to say about Ireland. They say it's beautiful, it's got beautiful greenery, it's a great place, the people are friendly. I mean, I've never heard a single bad thing about Ireland ever. So, definitely one of the places that I want to go, but it's one of those, the plane flight, the cost, and all of this other stuff, just a little bit much. Going to other countries. I did that when I was like 30. I went to like 5 different countries. I went to Sweden. I went to multiple places in France. I went to multiple places in Italy. Jesus, what else? I went to England. I went everywhere. But yeah, now with the COVID thing and all of that, because when you get to a country now, I think they lock you down for like a month or something. So unless you're there for a very long time, you're going to be just sitting at the hotel staring at the wall. Right. Vanessa, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. Let me know who you are in chat. Yeah, I think everybody wants to go to Ireland. It just seems like a nice thing. Seems like a nice place to be. All right, speaking of nice places, let's check out some waterfall tarot. In case you're wondering, I made this deck. I have 27 of these left. The book is sold out. So no more printed book. You can get the digital version, but these, I still got 27 left. Then I probably won't be reprinting it. I need to move on to the next project. All right. So who is Vanessa? I got a donation for May. Okay, May. Let me know, May, what your question is. I appreciate you. In the meantime, let's go to the let's see, the General from Sarah here. Pull an extra card for this too. All right, we look like that we're lost. We're trying to find our way in the world. Luckily, tomorrow's Friday, so tomorrow's Friday, so finding our way into the world should be a little bit smoother as the weekend goes. Okay. Let's see. Pull one more just because. You got strength. It's nice. One of my most popular cards by far. Strength. There you go. It sort of doesn't fit in the theme of the rest of the deck, but that's the way it goes. The Page of Wands, the Magician, Page of Swords, and the Four of Swords and Strength. You got a couple of pages here. We're looking at some new things, looking at some new adventures. Where it's sort of lost because you don't really know what you're doing in a lot of ways in some of these activities. I think that you've been thrown into, are the things that you've been responsible for. I think in a lot of ways you're in a situation where you're just backed into a corner, forced to do something you just don't want to do by somebody else. You have the Page of Wands and then the Page of Swords. So what does this combo mean? The Page of Wands is the Wolverine. You watch the videos, and you just have that feel that the Wolverine just goes after it. It doesn't wait. It doesn't hesitate. I think sometimes that you get that way with certain tasks or certain things. DYB, thank you for your donation as well. Appreciate that. But the Page of Wands is the Wolverine. The Page of Swords is sort of the spy, trying to figure out things, trying to get things done. That combination means I'm starting on something. I don't know much about it. And I'm just gonna run into a corner and just be bouncing off the walls because I really don't know where I'm going or how I'm gonna get there. And again, you said kind of lost, and it does feel like that with the actual cards as well. Shakira, no, there will be no more hard copies of the book ever again, but you can get the PDF and print it yourself. I mean, but yeah, just running around, bouncing off corners, trying to get things done. And ultimately, we're just not getting the right feel there. In other words, we're just not getting the right goals. We're not getting where we want to be. So is it a little bit of the action of the mouse wheel? Yeah, it kind of feels like it. The Magician says overall, you would know what you were doing if you had almost a better assignment or a clear path to go. So you're in a pathway that you don't know what you're doing. You're in a path to where you're just uncomfortable. You're trying to get things done, but you don't know what the end goal is. again, wandering around, bouncing off the walls. You're willing to do this stuff. You're willing to dive into it. Sure, let's get it done. I mean, you're all about that, Sarah. You're like, let's get it done. If we have something to do, let's knock it out. But having no clear guidance, no clear path, no clear way from point A to B is sort of affecting you. Magician says you know how to do things. It's not like that you're just inept or incapable of doing what you need to do. But the magician says that you have the skills and abilities, but again, the guidance is just lacking. Now, the Two of Swords into strength. Ultimately, I think this is a matter of taking a step back and stopping moving and just completely stopping and say, all right, let me reevaluate where I'm at, what I'm doing, and where I need to be. Does that mean we need goals? Absolutely. That means we need a clear path from point A to B. If that is going to entail completely stopping moving, starting to write things down, starting to think, starting to plan, strategize, and that's fine. You don't really have to make progress when you can't really make progress because you're just bouncing off the wall. So there you go. That is sort of the feel of the general, Strength as well always says, hang in there and you'll get it done. You'll get everything laid out and mapped out. That's okay. All right. That is very general indeed, because I didn't have any other pending details to the situation. So we did the best we could. We do the best we can sometimes, and hopefully it helps. Anyway, May, do I have a promising career in the FCO? Not really sure where the FCO is, but let's see if we have a financial conundrum department. I mean, I have no idea. Started a candle business. I'm sponsoring classes. Well, there you go. All right. What are we going to do here? I mean, I used the pre-Raphaelite yesterday. I mean, let's go into my traditional rotation. I think we've gotten into a habit of just this continual rotation of cards. I mean, I don't know if this is kind of boring. Let me know. I might just grab some general deck, but I'm just saying that these are the cards that I like that have come out this year. I think it's really good. We use the Angel one next. We do have the Angel deck in there. It's looking pretty good. Financial crime operation. Oh, there you go. All right. Financial crimes. I don't know. I guess you'd be looking at politicians. I guess your main thing would be politicians. All right. Let's see about that. Speaking of which, I watched the debate last night, and the fly on his head was kind of funny. I gotta say that was extremely distracting. I have no idea what he actually said while the fly was sitting on his head. Hey, that rhymes. Okay, do I have a promising career? Basically, is this career where I want to be? And the answer is kinda, but it feels temporary. It feels like that this is a stepping stone onto someplace else that you really want to be. So, is a stepping stone. Why do we say that? We got a Page of Cups. I mean, I like it. It's okay. It is interesting that we have two introverted cards as well. Like The Wire. That's one of my favorite shows. Now, if you haven't seen The Wire on HBO, is it HBO? Yeah, it's HBO Max, something. Anyway, The Wire is an old show, I think from 2001. Yeah, I remember it was 2001? No, sorry. I have no idea. Anyway, it was an excellent show, and it was complex. It had layers on top of layers on top of layers, and you had to sort of dig through it while watching the show. A really good show. The Page of Cups is an introvert, and we have the Hermit. Okay, May, is this something where you're just working by yourself, or is this something where you are, is this something that you don't get any help, or they stick you in a corner and make you do something and they don't give you any support? Because you have two introverts here. It feels almost like that you're by yourself. It's like I get an assignment. I don't have any support. I don't have anybody to help me. I feel alone. So it's basically feeling alone is a common theme amongst these two cards. As well as the Page of Cups says it's okay but it's not just amazing. So it's all right. But again, we see in a stepping stone. The sun means it's sort of a mandatory stepping stone into getting where you need to be. But the tower says it all falls down. It's like at some point to I'm ready to expand. I'm ready to get into something else. This is not something I want to do the rest of my life, but because I had the position, the work experience, and it's on my resume now I can focus on where I really need to be. So I think that's ultimately your path. So is this a great pathway? Is this a fantastic stepping stone for again getting where I need to be? Absolutely. It looks good. It looks very good. So the sun says that it has a lot of potential, has a lot of good things going for it. You do have the double alone cards. You do have kind of it's fun at first, but it kind of gets burned out. Then you have the tower. Everything sort of falls down. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to expand and get into the next phase of this career. You know what I mean? So you need that first step of the stepping stone in order to get to the big step, which is going to be where ultimately you'd like to be. All right, DYB wants a grant writer in a week or something. DYB, let's see. Information next week, a grant writer. All right, so pretty simple question. Let's see how that goes. See how that moves across the wire. Yeah, that's not like if you've watched Amazon Prime The Boys, that is not subtle. That is very over the top. I'm kind of, if you're not watching that, it really got exciting last week. I'm interested tomorrow to see how that goes because everybody's head exploded and, spoiler alert, everybody's head exploded. I'm kind of wondering where they're going to go from here because they just killed off like half the show. I don't know, man. That is a pretty wild flick for sure. Got my new card, but it won't let me join. Translated card to UK money. Anyone else have? I have no idea. By the way, I'm going to be on Southern Souls Tarot's channel tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So the minute Megan gives me a link, I will post that onto the channel so you can join over there and check us out. I guess we're doing dual readings and see how all of that goes. See what is going to happen over there. Going to be fun. I like dual readings. I especially like dual readings when one reading is drastically different than the other reading. You know what I mean? One person says, absolutely, you're going to get that job. And then the other person says, no, there's no chance of you getting that job. So then you have to go in and sort of justify why you said so and so. You know what I mean? I think it's pretty cool. I like it when it's a bit different and the readings are drastically different. I don't really like them when they're the same because it's kind of boring. It's like, okay, well, you're going to get the job. Yeah, you're going to get the job. All right, have a nice day. Next. So, yeah, there you go. All right, well, I'll receive information next week from the grant writer about the grant checks. We're looking for something with somebody just dragging info in. Maybe something with swords. I don't see it. Maybe the Knight of Cups could be movement. I mean, this is more of a feeling card. It's more of an emotional card. Six of Wands says success. In other words, I feel everything is going okay. Justice does have a sword in sort of a way. I mean, I don't know. I just don't think that you get information about this particular thing next week. It just doesn't look good. But we have these great cards. It's like it's offset from front to back of, yeah, you're going to get some things moving forward. But if you have a need for a specific communication for a specific person, I just don't see it. I don't see that. I really wish it had more swords here. Really wish we had some information flow. Like maybe a Knight of Swords would be great, carrying this in with the sword, with the horse. Maybe Ace of Swords, obviously the beginning of the communication. Anything where things are just moving along. You know what I mean? I just don't see it. I don't see any motion. Great cards. I think things are going well in the background, but I just don't see information flow happening, which was specifically what your question was. Miss Tweets, Tarot, how are you doing tonight? Welcome, Kitty. Welcome, Soul, as well. What is going on? All right. Let's take some water. We're at the end of the questions. Who has a question? Let me know in chat. Hooping wants to know, will I get to go see my family? All right, let's find out what the text is. I am expecting, Friday. So it appears that I get something on Friday. What did I get? I think I get this one. Let me look at orders and oh, never mind. I get this on Tuesday. Okay, for Tuesday, I get the for Tuesday. Oh, let's not show that information. On Tuesday, I get the True Heart. Nobody can see that. The True Heart Intuitive Tarot. So that's what I get on Tuesday. Pretty excited about that. I got to admit. They talk in chat and I see them. They're not blocked. Even if someone subscribe, go back to unsubscribe. I've had that too. Cosmic Tarot deck. All right. So Hooping Rabbit, will I get to see my family this year? Let's see about that. HR wants to go check out the family, see how they are doing. And for this one, what is a good going to see my family? I mean, I think it would be okay to do the Mons Tarot. It's been almost 6 years since I have seen my family. Well, that's kind of challenging, kind of stinks. All right. Hopefully this year will be the year. Or, well, this year's kind of rounding out. We're sort of at the end of it pretty much here. We're getting into mid-month 10. So I'm assuming that you have at least some plans made. I don't know. So let's go see the family. Is it going to be possible? Hermit says no. And the King of Swords says we will be talking to him. We'll be virtually talking to him, of course, and doing all that stuff. I just don't see it. Ace of Wands, 3 of Wands. Okay, so let's sort of break this down. Ace of Wands says you do make plans. You have plans. Comma, go ahead and ask your question. By the way, if you're new here, there is no list. Donations take priority, then I pick at random. So post your question in chat. If I like it, I'll read it, maybe. If I don't like it, then I won't read it. Or if it's the same question I just had, I probably won't read it either. All right. Ace of Wands, it says you are making those plans. Look at that into the 3 of Wands. The 3 of Wands, look, you're scoping out the trip. I think you know what day you want to do it. I think you've looked up the prices, looked up the schedule, figured out when I could take off work, when I could go. So the 3 of Wands, you definitely have been making plans. Ace of Wands mixed in says that is important to you. I think you make a lot of plans getting out and getting over there. Will you get to go see them, though? The Hermit says no. That kind of ruins everything. We had this great possibility where we're making these plans. We had the Ace of Wands as we're starting it. We're cranking it up. We're getting it done. But the problem is that Hermit. The Hermit says, no, we're going to sort of be alone. Now, the King of Swords, it does point to not only communication, obviously, but it also points to just opportunities. It's like that we can't get freed up. We can't get those opportunities getting out there. And that's sort of just the painful part of it. You know what I mean? It means that you really want to do that. You really want to get these opportunities going. But the King of Swords says we just can't get away. Hermit says we're kind of stuck and we just don't have the opportunity. No opportunity. Sorry about that, Oh, Hooping, I wanted to give you some good news. I wanted to give you some good news on all of that stuff. Comma wants to reconcile with the ex. Comma. Let's see if that is going to be possible at all. Will we get some good reconciliation action in here? Maybe could be. All right. Let's see how do we spell this. K. What is it? Where'd you go? comma. All right. Well, then it copied your name. Sometimes I hate this interface. I wish there was an easier way just to copy a question and post it on the other side. I could write something, but they force you to use C plus plus. I'm not writing in C plus plus. I did that when I was like 20. Not doing it. Not doing it again. It's not happening. All right. Comma wants a private reading. Sure, comma. I'd love to give you a private reading. I'm off this week and weekend. So if you want a private reading, please email me here. And the email address is also in the description. I charge $30 for 20 minutes. We'll go over all your questions and cover everything that you need. And just email me for scheduling and whatnot. All right. So let's see. What are we doing? The Gilded Tarot Royale. Blah and Jay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone's support tonight. Violet Lotus is here. Speaking of private readings, how is it going? Violet Lotus, do you have the Mary L Tarot? I sold it. I used to have it. I did sell it. I did sell it. It is now gone. I sold it to, or did I sell it? I think I sold it. I'm pretty sure, 90 percentile sure that I did sell it. Think so, yes. Anyway, I think it's gone. But I had the first edition, and the first edition was what had to go. It had to go. I just don't read with it enough. I wish that I read with it enough, but I don't. I just don't resonate with it. I know a lot of people just adore that deck. I just didn't. I mean, I can't like every deck. I like to, but over time, I just got to sort of trim the pile. All right, are we going to reconcile or not? Is this going to be a thing? Queen of Cups says yes. Four of Pentacles says yes. Five of Swords, maybe not. Two of Swords does. Okay. There are some things, I don't think they want to reconcile. I mean, I think that you want to reconcile, obviously, because you're asking the question, right? I think you want to reconcile, but I don't think they do. I just don't see it. The Five of Swords, the Lord of Defeat. It seems the reconciliation process just isn't going as well as you would hope, kind of thing. The Four of Pentacles, a little bit of the holding stuff back, not expanding, not giving. This could be great if it was the Six of Pentacles, maybe, but the Four of Pentacles, I'm hanging on to what I have. I don't want to expand. I want to contract. It's got that closed body language, contract feel to it with the four. Queen of Cups says it is an emotional thing, though. It's not like something that you can plan. It's not like that, okay, I'd like to reconcile. Let me put it in my schedule. It just feels like there's something holding us back and we not getting the action that we need with that, right? The Queen of Cups, the emotional component, is just holding us back. So it's an emotional thing, not a logical thing at this point. And it's just sort of inhibiting us from getting the reconciliation done. So basically, not right now. Obviously, I'm not going to exclude that forever, but right now seems an inopportune time to do any sort of reconciliation with this particular person. All right, Blah has a question below. Let's see. I got Bartman. Monster deck. Seeing Hanbury House is Saturday. Will I like it? All right. The pancake syrup sounding Hanbury House. Monster deck, please. Somebody tried to duplicate the monster deck. It's called well, let me look at what the name is before there's a lot of tarot out there on Kickstarter. The Pookie Cat. The Pookie Cat. So see, I'll copy it to chat. It doesn't look good. I think my biggest problem with Pookie Cat is just how frickin' much it is. Okay, I can appreciate that you want to go hardbound box. That costs some money. You don't mind. You want to go hardbound box. Obviously, you got to jack the price a little bit for that. But the Pookie Cat doesn't seem like a deck that I want to spend $65 on. So that's just me. I'm looking at it and it looks a bit samey. It just doesn't look like something that I would like. But anyway, but that's just me. I mean, there seems to be a low backer count too, which is surprising because anything that sort of looks like the Pookie, that looks like the Monstero, seems like that it would go pretty quickly and everybody would love it, but that's not getting a good reception. So I don't know. Maybe people just don't like the Pookie cat. Maybe people are on maybe people want to poo poo on the Pookie cat. I don't know. Mary Jane Spider-Man loves you, by the way. Hi, I'm new here. How do we get a reading? Mary Jane, I'm glad you asked because there is no list, Mary Jane. You post your question in chat and I pick at random. But donations take priority, obviously. We got 2 in the queue. But after that, I just wander around chat and see what's good that I like to read. So it's all randomized. All right. So, speaking of donation, thank you for your donation. Let me know what your question is as well. So, we're going to the Hanbury house this Saturday. Will I like it? Queen of Swords, Page of Pentacles, King of Swords, King of Cups. There's a lot of people that want you to like it for sure. So, how many, so is it just you and your son and that's it? I mean, it seems like somebody is sort of trying to force this thing on you. You know what I mean? They're trying to force it on you a little bit, a little bit. We got a lot of court cards. We got the queen, the page, the king, and another king. So what does this mean? Somebody asked me a long time ago, by the way, about what it means when you have all court cards. It means you have a lot of people needing or wanting a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? We have a lot of people wanting a lot of stuff. Could that be demands from people? Could it be opinions? Could it be a lot of people that are going to be there looking at it as well, maybe? Or people that just left, or the people that are trying to sell it want to have some incentive to get it sold, or there's a lot of people in the mix. I mean, that's sort of a lame thing to say when we come up to that. But as far as liking it or not, you definitely need to pull another card, obviously, or you just read the court raw, whatever you want to do. We'll do both just for fun. The King of Cups is Gandhi. It is that feeling of, it's emotional, but I'm pretty stable about it. I could go either way. I'm not really super impressed with it, but I'm also not, I don't find anything that I like. You know what I mean? The King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. There's a lot of chatter about this particular thing. A lot of people want you to have a lot of information. There's a lot of chatter going back and forth. We have a lot of different things happening between different people when this comes to this. Page of Pentacles, I think that you like it. I think that that's all right. By the way, when you do get all who want to give me a discount, yeah, you have a lot of people that are interested in this. You got a lot of moving parts. So there's a lot of conversation. There's a lot of talk in the background about it. And so we can pull one more card, by the way, which is what I just talked about if you like it or not. And you get a Page of Swords. Now that is funny. That is funny. Then you get a Knight of Swords. That is even funnier. This is from a well-shuffled deck too, but basically Knight of Wands. I mean, you don't see anything that you just dislike about it, but you don't see anything that you just thrills you either. So, you know, again, a lot of movement, a lot of talk, a lot of action around this and all of this. So sort of be prepared for that. IT guy, what is going on? So good to see you tonight. How are you doing? Tomorrow is Friday, IT guy. Not like it matters. Us IT workers, we work every single day, all the time anyway. So, you know, weekends are just kind of a convenience, I guess, as long as something doesn't die on the servers or as long as code doesn't need to be deployed. If you're not in IT, by the way, 90% of all releases happen on Friday nights, because if it goes poorly, you got the whole weekend to recover. So there's that joy and love that you feel when you got to release something at 10 p.m. on Friday night, every single effing Friday night for the rest of your life. There's a happiness that forms inside of you, an excitement about, you know, just working every single Friday night on releases. So it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful, especially when it goes poorly and you're up until about 3 a.m. And then, of course, the next morning you have validations and stuff runs overnight. Yeah, it's very exciting. Highly recommended. Hot if you have one thing to do, that is for sure, is to get into IT so you can eliminate all your personal life and have nice hand injuries, have dry eye. And there's a lot of good things about IT. Will my friend forgive me on the misunderstanding? Let's check that out with Jay. I certainly hope they do. I certainly hope they do. All right, Jay. Find out if they're gonna forgive or not forgive. Are they gonna be like that fly on Mike Pence's head? Just kind of there, just kind of there. All right, let's do the This Might Hurt Tarot because it fits the narrative. It does fit the narrative of this might hurt indeed. Misunderstanding. Can everybody forgive us and move on? Why is Chrissy in chat having a hard time finding love? Jay, thank you for your donation for Chrissy. All right. We get her Mr. or Ms. Right. Yeah, could go either way. Anyway. Sunflower Terra wants the same question. Everybody in chat, we could just queue up 100. Why are we not following love questions? But I'm telling you, we got people in here looking for love. We got other people in here looking for love. I think we have a romantic opportunity in the making, but nobody takes advantage of it. I just don't know why. Will a friend forgive us? Ace of Cups. Oh, the High Priestess, the Ten of Wands, the King of Pentacles. Mary Jane, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. All right. The Ten of Wands and the High Priestess and then the King of Pentacles. As far as forgiveness, I don't think it's cleared up. I don't think it is. Southern Soul Tarot, dry eye, LOL. That is a thing. That is a horrible, horrible thing. The medication costs $900 for a 3-month dose of the medication for that BS. Anyway, all right. The High Priestess says things aren't really cleared up. There was a misunderstanding. We did maybe clear it up, gloss it over, go over it like wax on, wax off kind of thing. At the end of that, though, they still sort of feel that it was on purpose, at least a little bit, or it is something like that. The High Priestess is not quite cleared up. There's still not really a misunderstanding, but there's still a bitter taste in their mouth. Not only with that, but they think something happened on purpose. The Ten of Wands, the main beef of it is cleared up, though. The Ten of Wands reversed. The main beef is cleared up. We're not carrying all this drama anymore. A lot of it has been relieved. So most of it is sort of gone away, right? The King of Pentacles, the retired banker. I think we're moving back into the friend stuff and good. And I think everything's going to be all right in the long run. The King of Pentacles, pretty comfortable. It's a retired banker. They're pretty comfortable. They know what they're doing. They're pretty stable and everything. So when you're pointing at a relationship, this is going to be all right. And the Ace of Cups, we're beginning again. We're trying again. We're getting back into that comfort zone that we had before, and everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. But that High Priestess, though, that makes it feel like that they still think something happened on purpose. Even if it was a little bit, something happened on purpose. So there we go. All right. Soul wants to know, would like some exciting info on my spiritual path. Violet Lotus coming in. General reading with classic heavy deck. Like weighty heavy deck? I'm not sure. I guess we could use the zombie. You want heavy, we can go with the zombie. All right, let's see about that. Exciting info about the spiritual path. Can use the Manga Tarot for that one. Manga Tarot, we're going back to our classics. 2020 has been a redefinition of the classics, the ones that I use on a day-to-day basis. It's beautiful. Yeah, you got to get it cleared up. But there's only so many things words can clear up, at a certain point, the memory gets foggy about the situation. You go back to day regular friendship. You just got to give it some time and let it flow. Let it flow like it's going to flow, and that is where it's going to be. All right. Eight of Cups would like some info. Eight of Cups is pretty decent here. Your spiritual path is definitely moving you away from things that you don't want to be involved in. You know what I mean? Eight of Cups is abandoning a situation, but more importantly, it is about walking the path. I mean, they're literally walking the path, and not only escaping, but they're getting the path walked. And that is going to be pretty important here because you sort of need that feel that I'm walking a correct path. And it's getting you away from the negativity, getting you away from the bad stuff. For IT guy, thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. So, IT guy, let me know exactly what you do. Do you do application development, .NET, Java, C++, 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 or mainframe? Or do you do networking? Do you do support? IT guy, let me know what you do. Four of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, again, the retired banker holding on to money, expanding money. Part of this spiritual path is bringing you into feeling better about a lot of different things that are going on in your life, especially sort of comparisons with other people. Not only that, but how life goes on a day-to-day basis, how things sort of move forward, how things move along. I think it's making you more comfortable with a lot of different factors in your life that you may not have been too comfortable with before. The world says ultimately, quality assurance, performance, like lean agile type stuff. Quality assurance, like testing. You're a tester. Performance and security, those are completely different. Like, it sounds like a tester. So you're doing tester, you're doing testing for security, I guess. Performance, it sounds like a tester. Okay. The world says ultimately you're going to be okay with this. You want good news. Ultimately, the world says everything is going to be pretty smooth with the walking, with that path. We're going into that. The King of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles says we're just moving right along. You know, ultimately, I think it is going to be all right. It is going to be all right, especially that it's moving you away from things that you don't want to be near. So that's one of the main components that it's going to be good news, right? Okay, so you're a tester. All right. DYB grant checks this month. Let's check that out. By the way, IT guy, I do app development in Angular with a .NET background layer feeding the good old services. So you probably end up testing some of that stuff. I hope you don't test Angular. That's kind of a weird thing. But anyway, all right, grant checks this month. See how that is go. End up working in all three. Yeah, part of that sort of security shakeout is part of testing. So that is on the mission statement there. All right. DYB grant checks. Let's see about it. Let's see about it with the Grimalkin stuff. Is Dylan interested in me? Let's see. All right. Yeah, testing will keep you busy, that's for sure. It never ends. And everyone has this dream of automated testing, and it never works out because that requires coding and a lot of work because you have to program every single screen, data entry in the screens. Nobody's got time for that. They'd rather you just click through the app real quick. There you go. Not with any projects at the moment. Well, that's not good. Grant checks this month are no. 10 of Swords, 4 of Wands, High Priestess. High Priestess does say you're being delivered some grant checks this month. So it's looking good for this month. It is. Think that you're getting what you want out of that. The High Priestess is very good at delivering things, usually holding a scroll and stuff like that. So there you go. I think yes. Yes or no question? Yes, grant checks this month. 4 of Wands, sort of an unhome. In other words, it's moving. We have the movement of that. 10 of Swords. The stoppage, the blockage that we talked about before is sort of freeing up. So it does look like this month indeed. would be interesting. Would like to hack stuff to test its security. Yeah, there's an ethical hacker certification. Um, I don't really know. Most of the stuff they do for ethical hacking is not on shore, though. 90% of the ethical hacking stuff is not on shore, from what I've seen from various companies and the different people that I talk to and whatnot. All right, let's see about that. Jay, Chrissy, hard time finding love. Hard time finding love. How is it gonna go? Are we going to find some love? But you're asking for a specific thing, though. What if I have bad news? What if I have bad news? Or what if it's like accurate? What if I say the reason you're having a hard time finding love is this? And then you're like, crap, that's not good. So I don't know. Let's see about that. Let's see if we're going to get some love for Chrissy. Chrissy. You know, if anybody's single, Chrissy sounds single there, you know? All right. Let's see. Do you have the Wild Unknown or Jeopardy? No, I do not have either one of those. Violet Lotus. You know what I need to do? I need to put all my cards, a listing of all my cards somewhere on a website somewhere, so you can see it. So you can see it. I don't know why I did 5 cards on this, but okay. 7 of Wands, 9 of Wands. We have a lot of Wands. Page Wands, 7, and the 9 of Wands. I mean, as far as love, I think that you could find more love. I think that you do have the opportunity for love. Nine of Wands, there is a barrier between you and love. What is that barrier? It could be work. It could be previous relationship that just won't go away. It could be not having free time. It could be hobbies that sort of inhibit this. It could be being hung up on a previous relationship as well. We do have a barrier between you and love. I mean, this is not a big open space to where you're running into the field and you grasp each other in love and you fall down and make out and hump in the grass. You just don't see it. You have this barrier between you and the love. 7 of Wands, though, that defensive action, it's not the barrier. It's not a defensive thing. In other words, it's not your fault. Seems that we have an external inhibitor that is keeping you from getting the love that you need. If the 7 of Wands was right side up, it would say that maybe you're a bit defensive about getting love, or maybe you're just not ready. Maybe you're not positioned where you're comfortable with that. You're like, screw that. I'm just not going to do that at all. Page of Wands, though, says that I think that you're in a position to where you can recover from it and move out of being stuck and move out of these things. The big thing here is trying to determine what is the problem. I think once you find the problem, the Page of Wands is the Wolverine. It is willing to work through that, is willing to sort of go into that and fix all of the different things that are going to be the problem. High Priestess says that being more transparent with everything is going to help as well. But yeah, there's a barrier, not your fault. You need to figure out what it is and just sort of knock it out, knock it out. I think you're going to be able to do that once you identify. It's just a matter of doing that. And again, that could be anything from I just don't have the time. I have a previous relationship that won't go away. I work 12 hours a day and nobody wants to date. Or I just go out on dates and I'm really moody. I mean, there could be 1,000 things between you and love. It's a matter of determining what it is. Be honest with yourself. Ask friends if you can, and all of that other stuff. Anyway, speaking of Spider-Man, Mary Jane is here and wants to know. MJ wants to know, John, how is John? Is the relationship headed well? Is it going to be something short-term, long-term, mid-term? The Encore Tarot, I think, gives a nice feel to that. Gives a nice feel to that. No pun intended. You know what I mean? No pun intended with the feeling. But humping the grass, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do sometimes. You have those that movie where it's slow mo's and they're slow motion and they're both running towards each other and then they grasp each other and and then spin around and fall to the grass and start humping. that's kind of where the weekend goes sometimes. You get involved in all of that, and the weekend just goes like that, just gone. Anyway, hear that all the rims. Well, that could be read either way. All right. So let's see about this. John, we have a relationship. The Ten of Cups says that is going really well. The Ten of Coins, that is going really well. Mary Jane, good news. This is going to work out fantastic. Look at this. Look at this. We have some issue with friends. There's some friend drama that eventually happens, right? Relationship also kind of stalls out. It's like we're not ready to sort of move into the next Spider-Man episode. We're just sort of stuck with some aspect of that. But you have the two best cards as far as relationship goes. I mean, we could have lovers over here. Sure, let's jam that in here. But the Ten of Cups is having a happy life, having a happy relationship. It's usually here with two people. They have kids. The same thing with the Ten of Coins, two people, they have kids, grandkids, dog. It's having the complete relationship, having everything. So it's going to go fantastic, very well. Now, you do have a bit of a friend drama that sort of sneaks in at some point where, yeah, some of the friends don't agree. Some of the friends just aren't ready to do that and all of that other stuff. Nina, thank you for your compliment. I appreciate that. The Fool also says it sort of stalls out at some point. Maybe John's not ready to put a ring on it, you know? Maybe John's not ready to put a ring on it, and you're like, we've been dating for 9 years. We're going to put a ring on it? Like, what's going on over here? General reading with a heavy deck. All right, let's see about that. VL? Want a heavy reading. Want the Thoth. Dancing in the danger zone. I did pick up the Thoth today because I do want to make a Thoth clone. But man, my problem is it's not going to look good. It's not going to look as good as a regular Thoth. Maybe I could try and make it look better. That's a tall order. I don't think it's really possible, but I don't know. Maybe I'll make a couple of cards and see how that goes. All right. Speaking of which, we are rolling out into the end of the stream. If you haven't been here before, we read every night at 6:30 p.m. Central. So come back if you didn't get your question answered, and we'll read for you then. All right. Let's get some heaviness going. I don't see anything really bad here. I mean, we do have the moon into sort of the fortress card where everything is sort of blocked off. I think you're in a place where you are sort of blocked. I think you're in a spot where you just feel like you're stuck. You're blocked. You feel like you can't get where you need to be. And it's sort of a day-to-day activity too, right? Day-to-day stuff into the fortress. The fortress is normally good. You're nice and safe in there. But there is sort of that feeling, not only you're safe in there, but you're also blocked. You can't get out. You feel like you're just sort of smothering at some point. You can't get out. Everything is pressing in from life, and you're not getting into some of the activities, some of the things that you really want to do. The moon is also sort of an intuitive thing. We also have a couple of, we have the water card as well. It's going to sort of feel that, it's going to get that feel to where it just looks like that we are getting better emotionally, slowly, progressively moving into a little better place emotionally as well. The strength sort of says that as we come into this place, it is important to realize that we need to engage into the activities that we're supposed to be doing. So once things are getting better, once we're sort of removed, a bit of the weight is removed from the chest to where we can breathe a little better, we can feel a little better, things are moving kind of forward. I think that we need to sort of take that opportunity to catch up on stuff that we have lost, catch up on stuff that we haven't done correctly and stuff. But anyway, all right. Thinking of that one too. One day is really lose the gold trim. Yeah, you don't want to trim the gold version. You want to trim the regular cheap $30 version of or it used to be $30, and then it got a little More, you can purchase the large. Yeah, you purchase the large without the gold. The gold one, yeah, you don't want to waste money by trimming off that. All right, IT guy, last reading of the night. Jobs. Let's get some more functional testing jobs. I think it's called functional testing. I think that's a proper word. But anyway, what cards is he using now? I don't know. Haven't picked it yet. I think we want to get the angel, the angels, the angel. This is the Angel Wisdom Tarot, by the way. This is brand new. It came out 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Mary Jane, the video will be out in standard definition in about 45 minutes after the stream ends. You can watch it then. If you want the high definition, you got to wait until tomorrow, but that's the way it goes. But Mary Jane, thank you again for being here. I appreciate you hanging out with us. I love it when we get some new people in the chat. Got, Jesus Christ, this smells bad. Nasty. Is that the deck? Dude, what is wrong with this deck? Mine stinks. My deck literally stinks. I don't know. I'm like shuffling it and the smell just sort of wafts up into my nose. I'm like, what the hell is that? Let's see about this. The smells aside, I think I have a bad smell emote. Where is it at? No, I think I deleted it. Okay. Let's see. Blame it on the deck. No, the deck's there's like this chemical smell from this thing. All right. Let's see about that. We got jobs looking for functional testing. Chariot says there are jobs coming. Justice sort of reinforces that. The page is interesting here. That is stable. I think sort of what you have or where you're at has some ability to has some instability with it. You know what I mean? The page says that it is the rock, it is the stable of stable. However, next to the chariot, it just says the stability is volatile. It's like that it doesn't feel stable. It sort of needs to be something moving along. It feels like you need to be somewhere else. It feels like things are stalling out, stagnating out. But yeah, you do have that feeling there. But yeah, as far as stability, I think that you need something else. I think something else is coming. The chariot, I think you have another opportunity with that. Now, we are looking at the Two of Cups. Finding the right job, I don't think it's going to be difficult. Functional testing is very popular. You always need functional testing. Functional testing is always going to be great, especially if you have a really good tester, a really good test leader that can do the job very quickly, do it very accurately, and all that other stuff is going to have a good feel to it. So I think you have a ton of opportunities. There's never a shortage of functional testing jobs for sure, especially if you can, like you're talking about, you can do the security aspect as well. You can do negative testing, like putting the letter A in a number field and then it works, or trying out a field for SQL buffer problems or stuff like that. So anything with that is going to be great. So yeah, the Two of Cups says that it is a good job for you. You're good at it, so I don't think you'll ever have a problem finding something, especially with high recommendations for other people. And the fact that you have I think that you have a lot of additional knowledge as well. I don't think that you just do functional testing and go home and just stagnate mentally. I think that you're active. I think you know a lot of extra stuff, a lot of bonus stuff. And if you get into an interview, people will be impressed with you. So, there you go. All right. Justice says ultimately, yeah, you do have other opportunities coming. But yeah, there is some mobility where you're at. It's almost like it is stagnating out a little bit. And so you're sort of thinking, I think you've been thinking as well, maybe it's time to sort of start looking, or maybe it's time to at least take a peek out the window to see what else is there. Obviously, entertainment purposes only. Never make a job decision based upon a fat man reading your cards on the internet with a smelly deck of cards. With the smelly deck of cards too. And I promise that is not my underarm smell. So there you go. Thank you for being here tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.
Say something that will make my day, 'cause these memories of her won't go away. They're haunting me so I can't sleep. She was a pretty little liar who cut me deep, 'cause she left me here